How may I help you?
I want to open a staking account.
The chairman awaits you.
Welcome to GSB. Here are your staking options. Are you ready for staking? Now you are ready. You will never regret to be here tonight with us. Let's go! Party is going on!
The certificates over the blockchain, first of all, it's still...
All right, hello, hey everybody. Hey, this is Daniel Higgins coming to you live. Let me do a quick audio check, but I'm glad to see everybody hanging out today, tonight, this afternoon. Just depends on where you're at in this awesome world that we live in. All right, let's see. Let me do this quick audio check. And all right, cool. So you guys can see and hear me okay. So welcome to the stream. Listen, we're gonna chat. It's gonna be to the point, and I see that my amazing sponsor and business partner, Mr. Dalcoe, is live with me. So I want to definitely honor that amazing leadership, because once again, if we talk about influence, influence is huge. And there's a comment from John Maxwell that I love, that is influence, leadership is only influence, nothing more, nothing less. And this amazing leader right here has had a huge impact and influence on me. And because of that, I definitely want to continue to have a positive influence on anyone that I come in contact with. And Mr. Dalcoe, I went ahead and shot you a quick link real quick, just in case you want to jump in. Open invitation to you, of course, sir. So leadership is influence. Leadership is influence. Nothing more, nothing less. Let me go ahead and I'm going to send that to you via Telegram. I know you prefer Telegram. Just in case you're free, I'm definitely going to open it up to you, sir. Absolutely. So it's in your Facebook Messenger and in your Telegram, if in case you're available. It's just ironic that you jump on the stream. So I just want to open invitation there, Mr. Dalcoe. So let's get into it. Listen, so leadership influence is huge. All right. Now, everybody on the sound of my voice, you can have a influence right where you're at right now. You can influence people right where you're at right now. There is no huge leaders or small leaders when it comes to this, right? That word influence is so important, because a lot of people think that you have to have a title, right? You have to have a title to influence people, right? That's incorrect. That is incorrect. Even within different organizations, right? Somebody might have a title or position, but that person doesn't influence people in a positive way. They might be influencing people in a negative way. Or within the organization, people might lean towards someone who actually knows what they're doing, right? So throughout all your time, you want to make sure that you're having that influence in a positive way, because there's leadership on both sides. There's influence on both sides. There's influence that pushes you to become a better you, right? And then there's also that influence that shifts you to do things that are maybe outside of your character, right? Or doing things. So you got positive, right? Positive influences, right? And you have negative. And then you have that positive peer pressure, right? And then you have the negative peer pressure, right? Now, within our Wealth Builds Worldwide community, I'm so blessed and thankful, because our leadership continues to share books, right? Share books to help us grab onto positive things, right? That help us build wealth, that help us influence and build ourselves, right? So that way we can go ahead and have the right mental attitude and mindset to go out and help more people. I can't wait. I have let me slow down. I'm super excited. I got like over 1,000. I have like over 1,000 business cards on the way. And I got Mr. Oh my gosh. Okay, listen. I'm about to bring my amazing leader, my amazing business partner, Mr. Dalcoe, to come hang out on this stream. Hold on. Let me see if I can catch him and pull him in. All right. Are you here, Mr. Dalcoe? Can you hear me okay?
Yes, Brother Daniel, I can hear you clearly, Mr. Higgins.
Oh, man, I'm so honored. Listen, guys, this is my amazing business partner and sponsor, Mr. Michael Dalcoe. He is the reason why Daniel's Den exists, right? He is the reason why I exist within this Wealth Builds Worldwide community. I cannot thank him enough for the positive influence that he's had in my life. And with that, say what's on your heart, sir, and we'll bounce back and forth. This is free flowing tonight.
You know, this is a very compelling conversation that you're having this evening. Is just so happens my schedule complied with the time that you come in. And I like that you do late events because people are settling in for the evening, and it's a good time to leave a thought on your mind before you settle down for rest at night. I was literally talking to my wife about leadership this morning. It's been on my heart and on my mind all day long. And then you open up talking about leadership is influence. So what I would like to add to this conversation is this statement right here. So first of all, we're locked in spiritually, Mr. Higgins. We're locked in, and we're
Yes.
operating on the same wavelength because this is a topic that has the potential to either, listen, everybody, it can either be amazing or a mess. It can either be amazing or a mess. There's an ancient writing that says, what builder sets out to build a property or a house without first counting up the cost, whether he has sufficient enough to build it? Now, I want to talk to those of you that have aspirations to do something great. I don't mean good. I don't mean okay. I don't mean above average. I mean life changing, generation changing. You know that you're supposed to be the one in your family that's going to change lives for generations. I was listening to Shaquille O'Neal. He said he learned the difference between rich and wealthy. He said rich is when you have a whole bunch of money. You live in lavishly and you have more than enough to buy everything you ever want. That's rich. He said, but wealthy is when you can pass that amount of money on from one generation to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next. In other words, your money, your assets are making all the money you need to live a rich life without ever touching the principal. Without
Yep.
ever touching the principal. In other words, you've got 10, 20, $30 million working for you, and you're living off the residual coming from the money that's working, but the 30 and 40 million never changes. It only keeps going up. You keep stacking onto the principal, and the residue from the principal is more than enough for you to live a rich lifestyle. If you're
That's that
wealthy, you're
asset
also
living.
rich. But if you're rich, you're not necessarily wealthy. So anyway, you that are feeling what I just said in your heart, and you know that you're the game changer. You are the game changer. You're that person with your last name that changed the game for everybody for generations to come. I'm talking to you. That's who I'm talking to. I'm talking to you. I'm talking to game changers. I don't really, this late at night, I don't have a lot of time to talk to people who just want to do okay. I only want to speak to the hearts and the spirit of the game changer. Well, here it is. You have to be a leader. And leadership is not hard, it's very hard. The reason why it's so hard is because you won't find another Daniel Higgins that'll do an episode every night. You won't find another one for another 10 to 20,000 people.
Mm.
It takes about 10 Daniels to create a movement. I found
Wow.
maybe two like him, maybe three in 8 years that'll just stay consistent and
Wow.
keep grinding. It's hard to find them. So to be a
Wow.
leader, you got to say, I'm willing to stay on this battlefield until I get 10 of him. Then I'm going to stay on a little bit longer to train him, wait on his 10. That's a long campaign right there. And if you're on a 10, which you have to be in order to be a leader, on a scale of 1 to 10, you always got to be on a 10 spiritually, emotionally, physically, financially. You got to stay at 10. And if you're a 10, the people that are following you might be a strong 5 or a 6. So you're always dragging people up a hill. If you ever let your emotions, your energy, your spirit get down to a 5 or 6, your people are going to drop down to a 1 or a 2. And if you ever have a bad day, your people are going to quit. Never easy. My wife, sometimes she comes up to me and she just says, I'm worried about you. I was like, babe, sometimes I go in my office, Daniel, to get away from her discerning me.
I got you.
Because I know if she discerns me, now she's right here. She's looking at me. I know that if she discerns me, now I got to explain myself to her because I know that's my person. She loves and cares for me. I
Yeah.
hide from her sometimes because I don't want her to feel what I now know is, watch this, y'all. This is going to mess you up. You might lose sleep on this. I now realize those feelings of exhaustion as, here it goes, ordinary. Oh my gosh, y'all. The exhaustion is ordinary for the leader.
Mm.
Look, if you don't want to go through the exhaustion, don't put your hand to the plow. Just don't do it. Just settle back in follower mode and just coast off, drag off the leader's aerodynamics and let them take the heavy load. And you just, I'll be all right with my 10 grand a month. But if you ever want to ascend to the 6-figure heights, you got to bust yourself in the chest. You got to look in the mirror. You got to smack yourself on both sides of your face and you say, I'm doing this. My family's lives depend on it. Your 2 sons, Daniel, their lives depend on it. Bro, listen, I'm going to mess you up. I'm going to mess you up where I want to pull every bit of emotion out of you. Since you threw me the link, here it go. Here it go. When your sons grow up, there's probably not going to be jobs sufficient for them to even live the lifestyle you live. Probably not. Because Elon Musk said there are very few jobs that automation is not going to take. And it's not intentional. Corporate America is not trying to destroy you. What it is they're trying to become more efficient, more effective, and more viable. They're trying to impress their stockholders and grow a bigger company. And the only way to do that is they got to have workers that are not going to be tired, take sick days, vacation days, time off, steal from the company, not work as hard as they should because they don't own the company. Why should they work hard? They're going to work just hard enough to not get fired, and they're going to get paid just enough so they can't quit. So it's a fair exchange. And the people that own the companies, it's already happening. The biggest transportation company in the world owns 0 cars. 0 cars. Elon Musk did a demonstration of his new electric truck, and that truck will accelerate 10 times faster than a normal diesel truck. Not only is it electric, it runs the GPS. So they can load the truck up with automated loaders that takes the warehouse workers out of a job. And they load it up with automatic loaders, and then the truck drives itself. So it's 80% more efficient and safer than a human driver. It'll drive straight to another charging station, charge up, it'll drive straight to its destination with no human driver, never stopping to rest, and safer than the driver. So the insurance is decreased, and you have fewer people in the warehouse. So people are losing their jobs. You need fewer foremen, fewer supervisors, fewer managers. Everybody all the way up the supply chain is going to lose their job in many, many cases. My wife was telling me how they're doing surgeries with robotic surgeries. Artificial intelligence is going to take most people's jobs. I was listening today. Those of you that are in real estate, they already have automation to zoom in. My wife was talking about how she doesn't like it that Google Earth can see your backyard and your deck and how many chairs on your back deck. They're gonna automatically appraise your property, put it on a blockchain, and sell it. And all the realtors are going to be competing with AI. Who do you think is going to win? AI
It's
doesn't
so
need
true,
a
Mr.
commission.
Coco. Even with building
6% commission.
properties,
Go ahead,
there's machines that are set up where they literally just like printing a house. I mean, there's technology is going to continue to move forward. So there's going to be less and less labor forces in certain areas. So that's another big thing about leadership. Your leadership, if you're connected to the right leadership, they're going to share this information with you ahead of time and influence you to make that shift. And I think we lost Mr. Dalcoe for just a moment, so he'll come back on as soon as his line comes on. But I'm telling you, we have leadership here that literally supports, sees those trends coming, right? Because with Gold Standard Partners, especially, we're guided by and led by, right, Mr. Joseph Haidt, which is a billionaire. So he sees those trends coming and he starts sharing things with us and putting it within this ecosystem. I always jokingly say, not jokingly, but I say during a lot of our presentations, there's no payroll department here.
Exactly.
That's a shift. That's a mindset shift. Like, wait, what do you mean there's no payroll department? Well, how do people get paid? On the blockchain. What do you mean on the blockchain? You need leadership. You need to be influenced to know that there's some adapting that needs to take place. Well, go ahead, Mr. Dalcoe.
So I'll wrap up right here. What I was going to say about your sons. So because of automation, do you think technology is going to get better or worse?
Always better.
Better. So there's going to be more and more artificial intelligence taking up human jobs. So how are the humans going to make money? Aha. I'm glad you asked. Gold Standard Partners. See, you need to be building right now. You dig your well before you need the water. You need to be building your organization right now. A referral network over the blockchain that's paying you autonomously, and you have financial and location freedom. Because if and when artificial intelligence takes your job, you got to have something that's already working on your behalf. Elon Musk said he's believing that the world is going to have to go to some form of universal basic income. He talked about the reason why he got into electric cars was not really to save the ecology or the ozone, the environment. He said, let's not have the fake argument of whether we should drill for oil or not. He said, oil is finite. It's finite. At some point, you're going to drill your last drop of oil. And then what's going to, you talking about chaos. Man. So it's not about pollution and the environment. It's really about sustainability. Absolutely. And that's what we're offering you all tonight, a sustainable business model. That's why Daniel is on episode number 200. What is it? 219. He's a Pied Piper. He's the lone voice in the wilderness screaming, hey, wake up. And our job is to open the eyes of the blind and educate the ignorant and build a network of referring partners so that we can change lives all over the world. So thank you, Mr. Higgins, for giving me a moment there to empty my heart out before I go to bed.
I'm gonna throw a quote at you, Mr. Dalcoe, just because of where we're at, right? I'm gonna throw a quote. I did a little bit about this yesterday, but I'm gonna throw this out at you, right? Dr. Martin Luther King, the book that Dr. Ty Bess is reading, and I got that book, right? I never intend to adjust myself to segregation and discrimination. So many systems are discriminating against what we should be doing or improving on, right? Just like how we're talking about influence, right? So I just had to throw that quote at you because I want to bait you to try and have you talk for a little bit more.
Well, that's powerful, because one of the things about the blockchain, the reason why we're so enthralled with our business, GS Partners, is because it is a completely private, decentralized, and autonomous business model. It allows us to build wealth based on our work ethic, and we're just a set of numbers on the blockchain. Nobody knows us to be able to discriminate or segregate us or treat us unfairly. We are in a system where it pays us commensurate with our work ethic. And it doesn't matter if you're tall, short, black, white, fat, skinny, Jew, Gentile, Greek, Protestant, Catholic, Buddhist, Muslim, atheist. It doesn't matter. If you will do the work, you will reap the harvest. It's a fair system. It's a trustless system. It doesn't care what your pedigree is. It doesn't care about your education. It only cares about your ability to dream big and put work behind that dream. And it will benefit you in tremendous ways.
Thank you, Mr. Dalcoe, for sharing that. I am extremely thankful, like I said at the beginning, to be connected to you, sir. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Well, let me tell your audience something that you did for me. So this was a long time ago. This years, 6, 7 years ago. I was in a business similar to this one, but inferior in so many ways. But it was a good company, very good company, and I was already full time in the industry. I was doing very well in that company. And I put a post on Facebook that we were having a meeting at Mr. Roger Williams' office. And Daniel and I had served on the praise team together. And so it's my brother. I love this guy. And he shows up at the meeting. Well, I was a little taken aback. I don't know. I didn't know who invited him. So I was like, Daniel, who invited you to the meeting? He said, you did. And I said, how did I do it? He said, I saw your post. Long story short, Daniel signs up in the company, acquires the highest package that we had. And what that did, Daniel, it increased my faith in what I was doing. For somebody like you to just come to a meeting, see the presentation, believe in what I was doing, and take a chance. And here you are, still here running
Wow.
with me. That really helps me know that somebody's getting it. And you know, people think sometimes you're Iron Man because you're having success in the business and whatever. I need these seminal moments, these Kairos moments. I need them. They help me. They boost me. They make my tomorrow better than my today. So thank you again, brother.
Wow. 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 Thank you, sir. Wow, that did something to me. Oh my gosh. Woo. To think that I could have a positive influence. Wow. Woo. Man. Man. Wow. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Um, man, this reminds me of a time. There was a moment in time when one of our amazing leaders had came up to me and she said, because I was doing live events and making sure that we were all sharing great content and information, right? And she came up to me and just walked me through the influence and the impact that I had on her life personally. And full transparency, you know, she's not directly connected to me in terms of business, right? So it's just a pure impact thing. It's a pure leader influencing in a positive way with no compensation connected to it all, right? But it impacted her finances so that she could do more for herself and for her family. And it just hit me like a ton of bricks. And I was like, wow, you don't know the influence and the impact that you have on other people as you are moving towards and going towards your success place, right? Success is not a destination, right? But forgive me for saying it that way, but that impact as you move through your success journey, let's say it like that. And it just floored me. You know, I was like, wow. So this moment right here, hearing that I had an influence, a positive influence on, wow, okay. Ooh. So you're welcome, Mr. Dalcoe. Man, man. Janice, behave yourself, Janice. You guys, Janice is so cool. Thank you, Kevin Miller. I appreciate that. Wow. Ooh, man. Okay. Guys, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for hanging out tonight, this afternoon. I have been tremendously honored and impacted by the influence of Mr. Dalcoe and his lovely wife, Mo. I met Mo first. All right. I love you, Mo. I know you're listening in. Love you, Mo. Or Miss Monisha. That was my praise team, choir mama, right? So she was the person who helped me, took me under her wing, and helped me learn the ropes. I was actually one of the youngest. I was actually the youngest vocalist at that time, youngest male vocalist on the praise team. That's for another time. But wow, thank you. I'm lost for words. But this is what tonight was about, right? Flowing with what was happening and flowing with this topic that was just dropped in on me, and I had to just act on it. And I was playing a few of those videos to give myself a little bit more time to send the link to Mr. Delco because it's not something we do often. So I had to kind of grab that link for him, right? So thank you everybody for today. Man, I don't even know if I know this episode impacted people. So thank you. Share this out. If you don't know, we are live on Twitter and we are also live on YouTube. You can find me on YouTube. My handle is D Higgins 2830. It's scrolling at the bottom. Get back with the person sharing this with you. They're going to have a positive influence on you, right? Before we go, let me encourage you to hang out with us tomorrow night. We have a special freedom call tomorrow night by Mr. Delco, who you heard a few wonderful words from, and his sponsor and mentor, Mr. Nate Hines. Oh my gosh, I love hearing from Mr. Nate Hines. He brings the fire. I love that illustration he said about apples. Man, okay. Get back with the person sharing this content with you. You don't want to miss this freedom call. This is a leadership call. We're talking about leadership as influence. Will allow these two financially free, sharp individuals tapped into millionaire status and financially free status. Let them pour positive influence into you and help you shift and make those changes and adapt to this upcoming new system of money, right? Now, also another amazing event coming up, and I can't wait for this event. This is the main event. This is going to be on the last Sunday of this month. Do not miss it. Are we, what day are we in? Oh, Lord. Okay. So this is in about 2 weeks. Don't miss this. Get back with the person sharing this content so that you can get the private password for our Zoom. Okay, our Zoom is password protected. So we're going to have Dr. Lakeisha McKnight, Dr./Pastor Dominic Curry, Mr. Nate Hines again, and Miss Nika Nakos. Listen, you do not want to miss this success story from Mrs. Nika. Oh my gosh, I don't know what to say. All right, get back with that person sharing this content with you. This is amazing. You jump in, get that free registration completed, get a $33 membership, knock that out, start making and creating passive income for yourself and for your loved ones. Thank you, everybody, for your time. I will go ahead and close out tonight, this afternoon. So get back with that person that's sharing this content with you. Thank you so much, everyone. We'll see you on the next live stream, which is about Thursday night. On Wednesday night, we're plugged into that freedom call that we just talked about. What's going on, Yvonne? What's going on? What's going on? All right, see you guys next time. Thank you so much.